gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades.
Hey, what is happening, everybody? It is Jeff here with Gas Masks and Hand Grenades, and we are joined today by the guys from a couple of the guys from High Reeper, and we're going to do a sort of an impromptu hang and interview with those guys. But first, before I do introduce those guys, I'm going to introduce my co-host today. I got Reap 'em and Weep. It's actually Dreadful Rick. That's who it is.
I'm not in the band.
He's not in the band. Not now, anyways. Maybe by the end of the show he will be. Who knows? But but anyways, just a little bit of a setup here for this. We actually saw these guys, High Reaper, open for Yob and Cave In about 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, right? Yeah, the 9th it was. In Philadelphia at the Underground Arts, and they are kind of a local band to the Philly area, Wilmington, Philly area, and we thought we got to talking to them after the show, and Shane, I can never figure this out. There he is, right there. Shane, to my left here or my right, whichever you're looking at here, was super cool, gave me a shirt, and Rick bought a bunch of albums, and we thought, hey, we're going to have these guys on. They were a good time, and we enjoyed their music, and so we're going to feature them and talk to them about their history, a little bit of their influences, the writing process, the recent albums, and we'll go from there. We're going to play some tunes too. So, Rick, this was kind of in a weird way, kind of was your idea. You were like, yeah, we should have those guys on. We should talk to these guys. And
I don't know if you guys are familiar with what he does, these interviews on his channel, and they're very long form and very intricate. But then there's guys like you who are like, you don't have this 20-year history and extensive discography, but we still want to know more. We still want to know what's going on with the local scene. So it's a bit of a, I guess what you call a bit of a pocket here that we can also fill in. And I think you guys would be great for it. And the thing about it is, Jeff and I have been hanging out for quite a while now, but we're not always in the same wheelhouse of tastes when it comes to the kind of things where this kind of music, it's more my jam, whereas I guess, Jeff, you're more into the classic bands, right? And trying to keep up with the more contemporary kind of stuff. But at the same time, you were at the show. It's not like you don't like this stuff.
Oh, yeah, I was there. I mean, I'm a huge Yob fan. Who wouldn't be?
There you
go. And then, of course, Cave In was actually a new band to me. I knew the name, but I didn't really know them. And they were fucking killer. But these guys were pretty badass. And talking to Zach, I gave him this compliment. I said, man, you kind of sound a little like Chris Cornell. And he just was walking around with his head like up in the sky. He was like, man, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
I tell him that all the time to just go for Chris Cornell. I tell him that all the time.
Yeah, he does. He's close. I mean, and that's lofty shit there. So let's introduce you guys here. Shane, you play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, are you the primary writer or are you all right?
No, Pat and I write.
Pat and you write. Okay. Pat, you're the other guitar player. You guys both do lead and rhythm, or is one of you guys more of a lead guy or no?
I would say Shane does more of the shredding and stuff, and I've done on some of the stuff. I've done some lead and little things here and there, but he's such a great lead guitar player. It's
nice. I have to be honest with you. I don't remember who was doing what, and so I had a couple beers that night, so I was feeling no good. But yeah, so let's kind of get into like the history of the band. Tell me, I'm gathering from what I gather, Shane, you've been there from the beginning?
Yeah, so is Pat. I mean,
okay, so you guys are like the OGs. Talk about where you came from and how this all started and how long you've been a band. It's been a couple years, I think like 6 or more, right? Something in that range?
Something like that. Pat knows when it's. What year did we start, Pat?
2016. Yep.
Yeah, 2016.
A little over 6, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Pat and I had both been playing previously with our first guitar player, Andrew, and our first drummer, Naps, in a band. And he had quit that, and then I had quit that, and then I was like, I wanted to start a band doing this kind of stuff, but I kind of wanted to play guitar, but then I wanted Andrew, our old guitar player, to be the singer, and he didn't want to sing. He wanted Zach to sing, and then when Andrew was going to play guitar, and our drummer now, Justin, is not our original drummer.
Right. He played with some other bands, right? He's
played with
a lot of bands, right?
He's like an OG death metal guy.
Right.
And then so when Justin wasn't going to play drums and I was going to have to play bass anyway, since Andrew was going to be playing guitar and I was going to have to be playing bass, that our drummer from our old band, Naps, who was actually at the show
okay.
on that night, he came in, and then Andrew's like, because Pat just moved to the beach again, but at the time Pat was living at the beach, and Andrew was like, let's just get Bones, what we call him, Bones. He's like, let's just get Bones to play, and I said, okay, that's great. And then that's how it kind of started.
So the original band that you were in, was it a death metal band or was it a doom band?
No. It was Andrew's band, and Pat and I were like kind of in it doing stuff, but it was like a Kings of Leon style band.
Oh, Kings of Leon. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I don't know, Bones. What would you, something like that? I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, he wrote a lot of songs, and I guess we kind of filled in the.
It wasn't metal or doom.
No, it was not.
I think it was cool that we started this, because this is really where. Yeah. For me, when I write stuff, this is, in high school I always played heavy riff rock and stuff. Right. And I was happy to get back to doing that. In that band, I wasn't really a songwriter, I guess, really.
Neither was I.
Or Shane. And then it
was like Andrew's band, and we were just helping, really. Mostly.
I want to go back to the four. This is a better format.
Yeah, this is cool. That other shit's fucking with my.
It was messing you up, putting you in the spotlight. Okay, so you guys, I guess, how would you explain your music? Because I would explain it, and you know how that goes. Everybody hates being genreified, and don't put us in that box, but you have to kind of give it some kind of parameters so that people that are out there that only like death metal, they might not be into this, but people that are really open-minded, and most metal people are, right? But I would kind of quantify you guys as doom and stoner doom. I actually said to Rick, I'm like, these guys sound like if Masters of the Universe, Sabbath had a baby with Pentagram, the first Pentagram album, because that with a little bit of Chris Cornell type, higher vocals, as opposed to the more, like Mike Scheidt or something like that.
I noticed a bit of
Is that how you guys would see yourselves?
Probably, yeah. I mean,
to me, it's just all heavy metal. I don't. Yeah. Because our newer stuff is more metal, but to me, it's just all metal. I was just gonna say it's not technical metal or death metal or anything like that, and it's not black metal, but it's just metal to me. It's like we like metal. So.
I was going to say that might be a good segue right there. Yeah. Give us some influences for you guys. Like what kind of bands do you guys listen to on the regular? And I'm guessing, Shane, you said you're 50, Rick's 44. I'm an old fucking man. I'm 57, so I've been around for a while. I guarantee I'm the only guy that's on here that was alive when Sabbath first came out. But how about you, Pat? Like, where's your sweet spot of metal? What do you like to listen to?
I've always loved Ohm. I got into Sleep and Ohm because in high school I used to buy old Orange amps and stuff, and I always found on these blogs and stuff artists that used
be right back
old amps, and I think I knew Ohm, but a lot of those bands were opened up, or I discovered them through gear and all that stuff, and then you discover bands through other bands. I used to I love Black Mountain. I love stuff like that is, I don't know. Doesn't have to be obscure or anything. And there are some bands that are obscure that you meet, like we play with on tour all over the place. That like, you know, I mean, everything from Uncle Acid to, I don't know. I mean, I'm all over the place, and I listen to so much old folk music, and that's kind of what I learn at home. But
folk music, you said folk?
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of shit. I mean, I love all kinds of music, and with metal, it's kind of all over the board too. I mean,
sure,
everything from heavy, obscure 70s stuff.
The classic rock.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, like,
just to modern day stuff, you know.
Yeah, we're like, I mean, how about you, Shane? What kind of stuff? Again, I'm just trying to get a few pigeonhole ideas. And how old are you, Pat? If you don't mind me asking.
35.
Okay, so you're kind of a younger dude in comparison to us.
I appreciate that.
Cats here. You're a young cat. I mean, you are. You know, I've got a kid that's 28, so he's not that far off of you. But but I think, like, you know, like Rick was saying, he likes the doom. I love the doom too.
Me too. Yeah.
Black Sabbath. I mean, and High on Fire and all those bands, Sleep at Home and stuff like that. Yep. But at the same point in time, man, you know, my favorite band is Rush. Will always be my favorite band. No one will replace them. I love Triumph. I love Skinny Puppy. I love Frontline of I'm all over the place. I love Gordon Lightfoot. So it's like, you know, I'm a music nerd and I love it all.
I think
I was trying to get a feel for what influences you guys used for starting the band, I guess.
Okay. Well, I grew up on AM radio, so all that shit, any of that shit you name, from fucking 10cc and fucking you know, the Bee Gees and people like that and all that kind of shit. But I had older cousins in the 70s who turned me on to metal. So they were metalheads and they got me into metal. So I listened to everything up until around like 1990-ish, you know, so any of the classic metal shit, you know, from Slayer and Metallica and that kind of stuff to Nuclear Assault, you know, like all for metal kind of stuff. But I love all this. I mean, I love Jane's Addiction, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Jane's Addiction. Like love.
I got you.
but like,
so do I.
All that. I mean, everything that kind of I've heard since being a child informs me as a songwriter, always, regardless of what I'm writing. So I mean, it could be Donovan as easy as it is.
Oh, dude, that's great stuff, though, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know. So you know, when you grow up on AM radio, because you know the deal, you know, you heard all that fucking shit, and you know, you don't realize at the time, but later that's going to come out of you. You know, you have no idea that you're getting a musical education at that time, and you don't know, you know, but then it comes out of you later. So, I mean, but when doing this band was kind of a reaction from having kind of done that Kings of Leon stuff I had never even listened to Kings of Leon before I you know, in the band with Andrew. I knew who they were, I did, but I was like, I just want to make some kind of like Sabbath style record, you know, just because I wanted to do some riffs. And Andrew and Zach and Pat on and off had a cool riff rock band back when I had met them when they were like in their early 20s and shit. And originally I just thought we were going to make a record or something. I was just kind of like writing riffs at home, and then Naps and I would get together and we put these things together, and then Pat would come up, you know, and then we would put them all together and shit. And, you know, we were just doing shit.
Well, you know, like I've been in a couple bands. I play too, and it's been a lot of years. But like, you know, in the early days, we didn't get together thinking we were going to be recording stars or gigging out. We mainly got together to drink beers, to party a little bit, to hang out, talk tunes, crank fucking amps really loud, go home with our ears ringing, right? You know?
I thought we were going to play 6 gigs and get drunk.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I mean, they all kind of snowballed, and we got a record deal, and then we're on tour constantly, and it was like fucking insane. It was insane. None of it on purpose.
So did you guys all know each other? Like, have you known each other for years then, apparently?
Yeah.
Okay. I've known Pat since he was, I'm 51. Pat's, what, you're 35? Mm-hmm. I think I've known him since he was like 16 or maybe.
No kidding.
How old, Bones? I don't know.
Probably, yeah. And this all goes back to, you know, like
maybe 17.
Shane's friend Ariel. I mean, I was friends with her, and I had old amps and stuff, and she was like, "Oh, you should meet my friend Shane. He's got old amps. He plays guitar."
Mhm.
You know, that kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like
Do
you know,
you
like,
guys
that was
have
high
that?
school.
Do you
Yeah,
guys have
friend of a
that?
friend.
I was gonna ask, do you guys have that guitar hero that comes to mind when that made you want to pick up the guitar? You know, like I would love to be like this guy. You know, who did you look up to? You know, if there was like maybe a top 3.
Of guitarists now as an adult, or when I was
like when you first started out, what made you want to pick up the instrument? Made you want to do this? I know you have a whole range of influences, you know, but at the same time, you know, there's a locked in phase or period when you first pick up that instrument that's kind of locked into what you were into at that particular time. I know it's probably for you. It's probably reaching really back.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because like I guess probably at Jimmy Page I would have said
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a lot of touch.
No, I don't even. I still love him, but I mean, I don't even. I love his arranging and producing and all that stuff. His solos I can take or leave. Really,
he's not the great. He's not this. He's pretty sloppy guitar player.
10 Years Gone is a pretty good solo. 10 Years Gone is pretty good.
Alvin Lee.
Yeah, trying to play. No, 10 Years Gone by Zeppelin.
Oh, 10 Years Gone. The song. I thought you said 10 Years.
No, the solo. You know, even and the Heartbreaker solo, as crazy as it's so fucked up. It's actually kind of hard to play. Like
yeah, it is.
Like the actual solo, it's kind of fucking weird. You know? I love, but yeah, I would say let's just say the short answer. That's a short answer.
I mean, that's a tough one because you know, you and I are closer in age than the other guys, and you know, for me, it would have the '70s guys, the Steve Howells, the Alex Lifesons, the Jimmy Page, the Jimi Hendrix. You know, the Hendrix thing was still there, right?
Well, in 1980, I was only 8, so I wasn't playing guitar yet. So, like I loved Kiss and I loved fucking
Ace Frehley.
But I mean, I wasn't a musician yet, so I was just like, yeah, these guys are fucking sick.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm exploring.
How about you, Pat? You have any like touchstone artists that you think maybe got you going?
There are a lot of local bands in Newark and Westchester and stuff like that. And there were definitely bands like this band from Louisville called Christian Sin, and they were the best live band I'd ever seen. And those guys, their energy, like just a lot of, I just see bands at random shows that could be heavy stuff or not so heavy. And I'd be like, I think it was more the energy of the guitar players and the riffs. You know what I mean? Because just seeing people go wild on stage and falling over, knocking amps over and stuff, I was like, this is live. This is music. So live music in a basement or a small bar or something.
Are you guys really into punk at all? Do you guys identify or get into punk at all?
I mean, I don't know what you're classifying as punk, but I mean, like.
Well, I mean the OG punk, the Pistols, the Damned, the GBHs, the Black Flag, stuff like that.
I love Black Flag.
Yeah,
I love Black Flag. I mean,
because that kind of explains more what Pat's talking about, that high energy fucking intensity and crazy.
I love Minor Threat. I mean, but they're not really punk. I mean, I don't know what you call them, but
right. Well, alternative
me.
Punk kind of in a way, I guess. Yeah,
it's definitely something different. But I love Minor Threat and Black Flag. Like
that's a whole loaded category. You can go anarcho punk, street punk. You can get to
hardcore punk. Yeah, I get into all that.
Crust, hardcore. Yeah,
I like those. I love those bands in high school. Like I listened to them so much, like it's fucking ridiculous. You know?
Yeah. So has Zach always been the singer, or was
that? Oh yeah.
Oh, he has. Okay. And is he in your age range? I imagine he's a little younger, right?
Yeah, he's 1 year older than Pat.
Okay, so he's in your age, Pat. Okay.
Yep.
He's working.
How did you guys?
He's working register at the plant shop today. He couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. We're looking forward to talking about.
Well, how did how and when did you guys come about getting a recording contract? And you're with, tell me the label again.
Heavy Psych Sounds.
Okay. And how did that all come about? Just sending demos out, or?
No. Well, Elise from Heavy Temple. We got done the record and we just started passing around. Just because, probably Zach started passing around because he's more social than Pat.
Yeah.
So anyway, people were like reacting to it. Hey, we really like this, and I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I was like,
You're talking about this, right? This.
Yeah, except there was that's the repress. So there was a different cover on
the original cover had a group of you guys kind of in
exactly.
posterized.
So Elise was like, hey, because I was like, I told Zach, I was like, maybe we'll promote it then. Elise was like, hey, you should use this PR guy, Curtis Stewart. I said, okay. I told Zach, we'll just do this. We did this, and then he got us in the obelisk, and then Bucky Brown from the Dune Charts. I got in touch with Bucky Brown through this guy named Paul Rote, who also writes for the Dune Charts, because Paul really loved it. And he was like, Bucky, listen to this. And Bucky was like, hey, you guys can do a giveaway, because we were just going to release it on Bandcamp.
Yep.
And we did a giveaway of 100, downloads or some shit. And I woke up with a zillion inboxes on Facebook. And
wow.
That was kind of that. And it just kind of snowballed. And we wanted to be on Heavy Psych Sounds. And in the end, after some back and forth, we were indeed on.
And that's a label all the way out of Italy, right? Somehow they got your attention.
I also work for the label.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, now I do. I didn't then.
Okay, I got you.
I was started working but the label has grown and grown and grown. I mean, now we have Bongzilla. We have some other acts who will be coming, who I will tell you after the video that I can't talk about.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But my dude here, Brian, he's a huge Bongzilla, Weed Eater, all those bands. Brian's like, yes, bring it, man.
Yeah. We do a collab video. We did one last year. This year we do a 420 thing. So an actual 420. So he's my partner in crime when it comes to. We talk about Heavy Psych Sounds releases. And
here's the funny part.
Man, I could tell you the whole story of the history of the label, but it's just really interesting because our boss, Gabe, he was a guy from Rome. I mean, which for music, that's nowhere. I mean, you might as well be in the middle of the ocean, in terms of trying to be some band. And he heard Nebula and fucking bands and Fu Manchu when he was 14 years old, and it changed his life. And then he grows up, and then he makes his own record label, and then ends up signing all these people and signing new cool bands like Acid Mammoth and shit like that. And it's a fascinating story. I mean, but that doesn't matter. Anyway,
here's a funny little aside to Rick's. Rick was just telling you did a 420 stream. The funny part of that is that none of those guys smoke weed.
Me neither.
In
high school.
I have maybe inhaled once or twice in my life. Let me just put it
not like we're anti-weed. It's more of an accessibility thing. It's not like I don't deal with it.
I just always thought that was fucking funny. You guys are doing that stream, and I'm like, how do you guys even smoke
well,
weed?
Shane says he doesn't smoke. That's called High Reeper. I'm just
we named that the band name was from. I work at a tattoo studio. It was because there's old piece of tattoo flash from the 70s that was a Reaper smoking an opium pipe, which is actually our first shirt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so that's where the name came from. Was that piece of tattoo?
You look at that. Look at that Reaper right there.
There it is. There he is.
Cliff Raven.
I mean, that's for that record.
I love it.
For that,
Cliff Reaper is what his name is.
What's that?
Did you call
the
him?
guy's
Cliff?
name was Cliff Raven, who drew that.
Oh, okay. The artist. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, Pat. What were you saying?
No, at first record we'd do demos, and then we go to the bar afterwards, and then Zach and I would go back to his apartment. We get stoned, and we'd think up some funny lyrics for the songs, and try to sing them on the couch to the demo, and think about what would be funny. So,
So it's pretty much just a goof in a weird way, sort of, kind of initially.
Well, a lot of that's tongue in cheek, the Black Leather or any of that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of I think awesome lyrics, but then there's a lot of Weed and Speed. There's a lot of stuff that we think is funny. I don't know if other people
inside joke stuff, right?
Bands don't take this out too seriously. You got even something like Typo Negative. Peter Steele always had this sort of cheeky, quirky humor with this stuff, even though on the surface it seemed overly serious, but beneath all that there's just I love that.
Well, we try to make each other laugh too.
When did you guys do your first gig? as High Reaper?
It was October 31st of what, Bones?
Was it 2000? I don't know. I mean,
what year did the record come out?
2018.
2018.
Then 2018. Then it was 2016. It was because we signed our record deal 1 year after our first show to the day, right? Wasn't it?
Which would have been in 2017, and then we had to take the record down until it could be released.
And wait for it. So I believe our first gig was October 31st of 2016. I don't even remember it.
Was that a local gig in Wilmington or Philly?
Where was it? At
Probably in Wilmington. And I mean, we made the T-shirts, and we thought the logo was funny. We made the T-shirts. The whole band wore the T-shirts, and then everyone who came to the show would wear the shirts for like the first year.
It's like a bunch of
everyone wore the shirts. Yeah, it was really funny. That used to be the thing, and I guess there's photos of that. Like,
I probably would have been that guy too.
Yeah, because it was just.
I knew about you. I'd be that guy wearing that shirt.
Yeah, it was like. That was funny shit. I forgot about that, but yeah.
Now, were you able to gig regularly after that, or was it just a sporadic thing initially?
No. We played 6 gigs, and then we got a record deal.
Yeah.
Okay. How about since then? Have you done any like what I would call more, because you got the opening gig for Yob, which is really cool, right? I mean, it's a prestigious kind of thing to open for Yob and David. Yeah. But have you done any like? Get in the van and travel to New York or Connecticut or
we did like 90 dates in Europe in 18 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So we did pretty much 90 dates in the first 18 months of our existence.
As a headliner or as an opener?
Yes, headliner.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Now how were those gigs? How well were those gigs attended?
Fucking awesome.
No kidding.
We've played every desert fest there is.
The one out in Arizona?
No. Desert Fest. Like there's a Desert Fest, London, Belgium.
Oh, okay.
We also have in New York. We also
Berlin.
Yeah.
That's fucking badass, man.
We toured U.S. We co-headlined with Freedom Hawk.
Freedom Hawk are awesome. They're not talked about enough here anyway.
Yeah, great.
I love that band.
Awesome. They're awesome. They're awesome and awesome guys.
Let me ask you this:
we've been too active. I mean, it's a fucking nightmare. Not nightmare, but it's a lot of fucking work being on the road. We have not been on the road in a while. Not thankfully, because we have to make a fucking record. But anyway, yes, we've done lots of shit.
Oh, cool. Now, I would imagine you guys all work day jobs. You said Shane, you work for the label, and Pat, you don't have to say exactly what you do, but I mean, are you like a day worker dude, or what do you?
I'm at the moment I'm like an AV technician doing like high end audio installs, high end.
Okay.
All
so
that kind of stuff.
Everybody in the band is working day jobs, and in addition to this,
Pat's working at the plant store, or Zach's working.
That's the reality of being in the band is you get these record deals and stuff, but at the same time the lights got to be on and everything else.
He actually manages a bar. Just on Sundays, he works at the plant store. So.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
What's the ideal?
Go ahead, Rick.
I was going to say, what's the ideal time and place you guys get together to jam? How do you find the time to?
We just over the last couple of years, it's been so sporadic, but we just built a studio. So I'm at the studio right now. So we're just dealing with this one issue in the basement, but we'll be starting next week. We'll be getting together 1 to 2 times a week until the record's done.
And you're writing a new record now as we speak?
Yeah. Pat and Justin, our drummer, and I have gotten probably about 6-ish songs worth of material, not done, but halfway organized. Right? Is that what it is, Bones? I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
And you're doing all this stuff in your own studio and producing yourself and everything? Yeah,
I mix the shit and I do the records and stuff. I also mix records and shit.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that a little bit. Like, is there anything we'd know that you've done?
Well, I did Black Rainbow's live record last year. I don't know. That's our label bosses.
Okay.
Did that, and then his side project. I did. What did I just do? I mastered something for. Recently, I've not really done that much because the studio's been moving. So I can't remember what. I did Scorched. Our drummer's also in Scorched. I did their latest single.
You talk about Justin, right?
Yeah.
Look at his background, and that guy's impressive.
Talk about that a little bit. Talk about some of the other members and just give us a little bit of a thumbnail on those guys since they're not here. Don't talk. You can talk shit on them. It's up to you.
No. Justin's just a veteran death metal guy. Our bass player Tyler's had a bunch of heart problems. He's like, it's kind of crazy. So right now, another one of our friends, Jimmy, is filling in. Jimmy's dad was a professional musician. He played with Dobie Gray. I don't know if.
Yeah. Wow.
You know Dobie Gray, yeah. So, do you guys know the In Crowd? I'm in with the In Crowd. That was one of his.
Oh yeah. I know that tune. Yeah.
No
kidding.
But anyway, that's about it. That's a real short version of that.
And was Zach? Was he singing in other bands before you guys? Or?
Well, he was singing in the band with Andrew and Pat's brother and Pat on and off. Yeah. So yeah, he was singing in that band. Yep. And he's he's always been a screamer, and I encourage him to be a screamer. That's.
Yeah, he's been in bands since high school. Kind of like me. I mean, it's.
Yeah, we've all been playing music since we were kids.
Yeah, I didn't play guitar for 2 years, and then I moved away from Wilmington, and I bought a guitar. I was like, I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends where I'm going. I should just play guitar down there. And I showed Shane a picture, and he was like, we should do a band again, man. I didn't even know he was thinking that. So
I like that story.
That's kind of thing. It all just kind of comes. Yeah.
You picked up the guitar. You want to make actual music, like the other side of it is trying to meet women, trying to pick up girls. But maybe I don't know if that was a factor too. Just throwing it.
I mean, yeah.
Well, that's why I picked up the guitar. It didn't work out, but but
gotta have something to do.
I'll tell you what. Let's So where are we at now in the recording? So the first album was 2018, right?
Came out 2017.
2017. Okay, Rick. What other ones you have there that you can show real quick?
I don't have the follow up to this. That's High Reeper, right? And that's the one.
I got a copy next door. I can grab.
Yeah, go grab it real quick so we can see it. Yeah, if you don't mind. That way we can see it. Yeah. And then you have the split. Do you have the split, Rick?
Yeah.
Is that where I'm honestly not sure where these tracks are coming from because I unfortunately don't own the CDs right now.
I've got a few of these. It's kind of like Heavy Psych does these splits. So you guys are Volume 5.
That artwork is so killer, man.
It's
the same guy.
Good. I love it. It's got that Frank Frazetta kind of
cover
feel to it.
Who was it? Who was it, Pat?
Solomicello, Luca. His artist name is Solomicello, but he arranged a lot of. Zach also arranged like the first album cover, but Luca, did his own thing with the artwork. He did that repress cover. He did the second album cover, and he did the art for the Doom Session split.
Cool. I'm gonna blow you up just for a sec here, Shane. So this is the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that came out when?
2018.
2018. Okay. And you're working on the third one now, right?
Probably 2019, I think, right?
Spring of 2019. No, the first one was 2017, right? This came out 1 year later.
I don't know.
Didn't it?
Well, it should say on the back, down at the bottom.
Well, you're going to have to put on my glasses.
Gotta get your old man glasses out, dude.
Okay. 2019.
Okay,
there you go.
All right.
Nice. I love the artwork on that. Is that the same guy?
Yeah, it's Luca. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fucking killer, man. That's awesome. And then the split, Rick, if you want to show it real quick here.
Yeah,
Luca
split,
did that too.
You guys
show
did
that again. Well, show the first one too again.
Okay, so the first one, which is not the original cover, you were saying this is a repress.
Yep.
I like this much better. Just killer artwork.
Yeah, that's the you use that for the mask behind the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, man. Now I just saw that.
Hell yeah.
To fit the theme,
See, you gotta understand. Rick does a lot. Rick does a lot of. Did a lot of my early artwork for my channel, right? And then I've done a lot of the later stuff, but he put together the one for today. He's like, "Hey, I threw this together," and I saw that picture of the gas mask on the skull, and I didn't know it was your album artwork underneath there. And I'm like, "Dude, what? You've been holding out on me. I want this as my avatar, man. What the fuck?"
Cool. Yeah.
So
yeah, but
I don't know how Luca would feel about you.
Yeah, I don't think he'd like me to have that. Yeah. Rick, show me the
yeah. So like I was saying, like Heavy Psych does these splits, and you guys did this with Hippie Death Cult. These guys are more, to me, they were more psych.
We're not that similar.
Nice.
But I like the pairings that they do. One of my favorites too. It's the one they did with 16 and Grime. I got one here with Dead Witches.
Which volume was it? Oh yeah, that one's volume 6. The 16 and Grime was that volume 5? I can't remember.
Oh well, you guys are volume 5 at least.
Oh shit! Which one was 16?
It might have been the one before that or 3. It's either the one right before this.
Where'd you get that thing? That's killer, man.
That's our drummer's. That's Justin's. It's hanging on his drum set.
Ah, nice. Mm-hmm. Tell you what, let's play a track. How about we play a track?
Sure.
And you guys can talk about the track a little bit, and we'll get into some other topics. Now, you guys cool on time for
another
half hour or so, somewhere in that range?
Oh yeah, no
okay,
doubt.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna play Withering
Decay. Okay, sick.
That's off the second album, right?
That's off the split. It's off the split.
That's off the split.
That's the last track off the split right here.
I apologize for not being familiar with all the
on
songs.
The High Reaper side.
What about Apocalypse Hymn? Which is that?
That's off the second record.
That's off the second. Let's do that one first. And you didn't give me one.
I thought you wanted to do Bring the Dead instead of Apocalypse Hymn.
You want to do that one? Okay, all right.
No, I mean, I thought when we had the powwow before.
Yeah, that's cool. Bring the Dead's off the second album, right? All right, cool. Here we go.
Yes.
Guys.
Bring the Dead. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah. Oh, sick. Okay.
Shallow graves, all that remains. Oh, there's the end of day. In the dying light of day, the hungry feed. Hounds of war at our heels. In the dying light of day, the hungry feed. Hounds of war at our heels. They bring the dead. Bring the dead.
Hear a lot of trouble. I hear a lot of trouble. Right there, that gallop.
Okay, that's for me, the old green. Confirm, got to down and watch them bleed. In the dying light of day, the hungry feed. Hounds of war at our heels. In the dying light of day, the hungry feed. Hounds of war at our heels. They bring the dead.
Sounds like Danzig.
Train of hell, full of dread, drain the well, bring the dead. Plague of hell, full of dread, drain the well, bring the dead, 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 bring the dead.
All right. Bring the
That's
dead.
Oh,
Nice, nice. No, I didn't hear a lead in there though. No lead on that one, huh?
Nah. Before I was
Hang
starting,
on.
oh, you got me? What?
Sorry, I got some bleed over. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. Before I moved from bass to guitar, we didn't have that many leads. We have them here and there, but and it was on purpose. We were purposely like trying to just be like more about the music. So
Kind of a Matt Pike thing, right? No solos, man.
just like let's just keep about the riff and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of good Sabbathy riffs there. A lot of good Trouble riffs there. I mean, I hear that.
That's Pat's.
Yeah.
That's Pat's.
Good stuff. Let me ask you guys. You guys are both guitarists. Let's be geek nerds for a minute here, or gear nerds for a minute. What do you guys use? Pat, you're using Les Paul, I think, right?
I have that, but anything I recorded for the band, even up to the Cold World single, has been with an SG or a variety of like Shane's SGs and
Which I don't have. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just P90 SG juniors and specials on the records, also with the SG customs and standards that I've had.
What kind of are you guys? Are you using plugins or are you using actual amps? You're doing real amping, okay? What kind of amps you guys use?
I've always had a Rocker Verb 100 throughout the entirety of the band, and it was actually by accident. When I lived down here, I was just looking for an amp, and some guy down here at the beach had one for like, I don't know, $800 or something, 100-watt Rocker Verb. And I've always had orange amps, but old ones, and I never played a new one. And I bought that, and I was like, it sounds like three-dimensional when you record with it. So between that and the 8140 that was Andrew's, and then Shane's always had vintage Marshalls and stuff, and we've kind of blended that stuff, the Laney stuff in there.
What do you do with as far as an effects chain? Do you get too deep into effects? Didn't look like you had a whole lot.
That's pretty recent that I've been playing with that, and since like 2021 with the delays, the wahs, and Shane and I both have always. I've always used a full drive, overdrive, a full tone, full drive.
Right, full tone, right.
And that's about it. I have a couple random.
You don't go stupid with the pedals. You don't have a giant pedal set up now.
I have is that a phaser? That Earthquaker? I think it's just a phaser that I'm using in the wah, full tone wah, and typical Boss delay. And I think that's it on the Doom Sessions songs. And Cold World, I used some kind of Earthquaker fuzz for one track, and then the other one was recorded with just a full drive.
How about live? You just the same setup for the most part, or even less?
Oh yeah.
Less is more, right?
I was gonna say you guys don't over fuzz your stuff. I know some bands like to go that direction.
Yeah, and I mean Shane. Yeah, and Shane totally. A lot of that's with like Shane knowing that when you record guitar sounds, it sounds so much bigger if you do less with it, and it just does. I mean, even live, it sounds.
Well, that's
if you have too much fuzz live, you just can't hear any of that shit at all.
You have the advantage that you mix your own things too, so you kind of have this even more of a closer connection to the outward result. When you're recording and what's going on in them.
How about you, Shane? What are you using gear wise?
Oh, well, I also have a Rocker Verb 100. I mean, I have the orange OB 1500 that I used for bass. But right now I've been using an old Coke multi-tone that I modded a ton. I mean, but I mean, I don't use pedals. I just have a $30 delay pedal from Amazon.
Oh, no shit.
Wow.
That I use my effects loop, and Pat bought me from a birthday, I think it was, an EP, I can't remember the name of the company, but it's just a booster that I turn on for solos. That's
solos, yeah.
I've never been into pedals.
What kind of guitar are you using then? What's your main guitar?
Oh, I'm using Ibanez's RG550s.
RGs, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I also own some vintage guitars still. I sold almost all my vintage guitars, but I have a couple of them. But for this stuff, I mean, I'm playing metal. I'm just going to use a fucking metal guitar now that I'm playing guitar. I'm not going to fuck around. You're not going to see me up there with a 335 playing heavy metal.
Right.
So this shit, I'm using a fucking metal guitar. I use a fucking, an Ibanez, fucking 550.
Yeah, they sound good.
Yeah.
I use like super high output.
Yeah, you guys sounded really good at Underground, man. I mean, there was a lot of push and a lot of just fatness of the amps, and I mean, you're in pretty interesting company there because Mike uses about 8,000 pedals, right? He's got he's got Command Central around him, right?
Yeah.
His stuff sounded incredible.
But
it really did.
He's in total control of it. He knows exactly what's going on. Although they did have that one false start, which was kind of interesting. That was kind of cool. Yeah. It's great when I see stuff like that because it's like then I know it's not Motley Crue. You know what I mean? The guys are really playing. This shit's for real, right?
Yeah. And what's funny is I talked to Mike about this. I bought a speaker cabinet off of him when I was 19. This is like
no way
19 or 20, 15 or 16 years ago, and it was kind of like a full circle thing.
That's crazy. Like, did you get it from like eBay or something, or from that store?
He shipped it to me. He had it for sale online, and
no way.
He was like, yeah, this is Mike from Yob, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. And it was a great cabinet. And I had an OR 120 from the 70s. I played through that, and it was just brutal.
That's super cool.
Very, very loud.
You guys are a fan of the tubes, right? You guys like the old school.
Yeah. I don't fuck with that fucking shit for guitars. No. It's cool. I mean, I know it's a thing like everybody does. It's totally cool. But I mean, we like amps. I mean, that's what I like. And Pat does too.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That fractal and all this and that. I don't even,
I
it's
think
cool.
For this particular style, it really works in your favor too. It just screams for it, man. It just fits so well.
I agree.
It comes out in a recording. You hear it. Just everything that comes together. I think you guys are getting it. When you started this band, you came in at a really good time too. Like for example, how quickly Heavy Psych picked up on you guys. The fact that label is even around says there's a renewed interest or growing interest in this kind of thing. Yeah. I'll show you one example. So this is a recent record I picked up. It's a repress. When this band dropped in the early 2000s, there was no Heavy Psych around quite like this, and not even like a Bandcamp. Bandcamp wasn't even around yet. Remember the Sword?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
When these guys dropped, during this climate, you had bands like Mastodon and Yob was around, but there were still young bands, putting out this kind of thing. But there was a bit of a dip during this period, and bands like this didn't have such an advantage to get their name out there, and you're trying to figure out what label and what to lump them in. And I think thanks to bands like this kind of growing and putting a new interest in this stuff. I mean, there was always fans still listening to Trouble and all this classic stuff. But when you guys came in, it's really awesome to hear that this is already this place for you guys and a way to kind of promote, a way to get the visual, the way to get all the stuff out there. So you're not stuck in this long period of trial and error, trying to work it out.
True.
Yeah.
I think we did all that in the first, for me, like the first 10 years of playing music in high school and stuff. And then we do this, it's on the internet, and immediately we're overseas playing with bands like Elder.
That's crazy.
And I mean, we played in Belgium, Desert Fest, Belgium. We played, and then I put the guitar down and walked across the hall and watched Sleep play over there. And I was just like, this is such a great community. And it's just, if you put your shit on the internet and it kills, and you go out and play live and you kill, then you're good. You can fucking hopefully hook up with someone and get out and play with it. you know, whereas I would imagine years and years ago, you're just relentlessly touring, trying to get people to know you. But if it's good, it's good, and it catches on. If it sucks, then no one's gonna fucking want you to do anything.
What if you guys?
So,
what if you started out in let's say 2008? How, I mean, it's just speculation, you know, but how do you think, how much easier or harder you think it would have been?
We would have done nothing. I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah.
It was like, you know,
no Bandcamp.
Yeah, I mean,
YouTube was in its infancy.
there's just not a plan for it. And I think for me in high school, I you know, you want to. I keep going back to that, but that's, you know, going to see a show on the weekend in a basement, and it's no one's on their phone. It's just people falling over drunk watching a show, people knocking amps over and shit, and just the energy of letting it out.
I'll show
you know, that was like good enough for everyone. Like, we don't care what we do with it. And I think we did the same thing with this band. We just wanted to let all that shit out and have fun and rock, you know.
You guys did the split, you know, with Hippie Death Cult.
Yeah.
This other band, 16, I was talking about.
16, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're in Relapse? They're 16's on Relapse. Right?
They're on Relapse.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was, you know, they did the split with Grime, another good band. They got out of Italy.
Oh, yeah.
But they've been around forever. These guys have been around since the 90s.
I know.
And nobody knew who they were for the longest time. And I think finally, you know, they're putting out really, I mean, I've always thought they were really good. And putting out really good releases. But had they just started as a band, like let's say in the past 10 years, probably wouldn't have been such a slog.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different environment in the last 20 years since the internet came on. I mean, obviously, like for old dudes like me that are pushing 60, you know, we remember the days of you had to luck out to find it. If it wasn't on the radio, if you didn't hear about it on the radio or in some magazine, you didn't know about tours. You didn't know what was going on in Philadelphia unless you lived there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was playing music back then, still doing the same shit, and it was you know how fucking impossible it was to get your music distributed. Like,
exactly, yeah.
I mean, people bitch about Spotify. I'm happy about Spotify. You know why? Because if we were an unsigned band, we put a song on Spotify and everyone can hear it anywhere. Yeah. Because in 1993, when you're recording something, it's like fucking impossible to get something.
You were giving tapes to your friends and hoping that they passed it on and dubbed it to somebody and somebody along and you were sending them out to, you know, you were sending these fucking cassettes out to these record companies, which they were getting thousands of these
it was a
every
fucking
week.
burst, man.
Most of those were going in the trash. A lot of good bands just got dumped, you know. So it definitely is something cool that you have that these tools at your disposal. And
I think,
well, as Pat said, you got to go to fucking play Europe, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and I gotta say,
how else would that have happened?
It's the internet, and it's the community of underground heavy metal. It's all the people. I mean, it's just, hey, you got to check this out. You got to check this shit out. We want to help you. We want to do this for you. You know, so we owe a lot to a lot of people, and we just, when we got the opportunity, we just went for it. You know,
it's funny.
You have to. If you get the opportunity, what are you going to do? Just say, "Oh no, we're not going to be able to do this or that." I mean, what the fuck? Like, everybody.
But in all honesty, you have to have 3 or 4 or 5 guys, however the band is, big wise, size wise. Everybody has to be on the same page. You can't have one dude that's like, "Yeah, man, I got my day job, and it's way more important to me than." You know, you guys want to do. Those guys end up weeding themselves out, anyways, right? You're either in it to do it, or you're not. You're just in it for fun, you know. I mean, so I wanted to ask you guys, like, what's coming up right now, other than you're working on the new album? When do you anticipate being somewhere in the zone of being ready? You're not sure. You don't want to answer that yet, right?
Well, I mean, your guess is as good as that. I don't know. We want to do it this summer, you know. That's a whole. If it were done by September, I would be fucking thrilled. Yeah. But studio build's been tough, man. We've been fucking with this studio, you know. I mean, it's mostly built now, but it's been you know, it's a big pain in the dick. I mean, this is like a big fucking studio, you know.
What do you have in there? Pro Tools,
we didn't have a
or
proper
what?
place for a while, so.
Yes, we have
Pro Tools.
Pro Tools, yeah. But you know, yes.
And so, Shane, you're the primary engineer then?
I'm the engineer.
You are the engineer. Okay.
Yeah. I learned.
Yeah, and we did the drums in a studio.
We used to, yeah.
That we've always used.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else we did at Shane's house.
Always,
on the first record. And then from then on, everything's been done by, us, Shane and Devil, Justin.
Devil's I make him do everything, but he does all the things I don't want to do.
Yeah, who is that again? Dustin is
Justin. Yeah, we call him
Justin.
Devil,
Is who again? I'm sorry.
Devil. We call Justin Devil.
But who is he? He's the drummer.
Our drummer.
He's drummer. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Where are the other three guys located at?
Justin's in Wilmington with me, and Zach is in Philly, and so is Tyler, and so is Jimmy, who is our bass player when Tyler's not.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, with the records, we came back from tour in 2018, and we had to turn in the second album like immediately, so we could go tour in the spring and fall in Europe.
Oh wow!
And we got back, and it was like the same story. We got to do the record again to tour on it. So the songs that are on the Doom Sessions and the Cold World, which is our latest single, and a couple other songs, those are songs taken from what was going to be our third full length.
They're kind of a ways back then, right?
Yeah, and
pandemic kind of probably. I guess the pandemic kind of shut you guys down pretty hard, like it did.
Yeah, totally. We got canceled a couple tours, like crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say though, you guys have really developed the Doom Sessions tracks. I've seen a huge leap in just musicianship and just more comfort in finding your sound and style. I'm not saying you didn't have it already, but just kind of the progression between the first record. There's a huge, I notice a contrast.
This shit is even more. The shit we're writing now is even more metal, more in the vein of like, I don't want to say like more. If you took Doom Sessions, the shit from that, and added a bunch of like more like Ride the Lightning kind of stuff into it, that's where
a little more thrashy.
Not thrashy, no, not the thrashy part.
Just heavier.
Just the metal, the metal style.
There's that band Spirit Adrift that kind of reminds me of that. They started out very, very, very doomy, and then they transitioned more into that more heavy metal.
We play with them, didn't we?
They're our buds.
Yeah, we play with them.
Yeah, Tom's a good buddy of mine. Great dude. I don't know the other guys, but I know Tom, the new guitar player, really, really well. So he's been on my show a lot. I was gonna say one of the interesting things we were talking about the internet and all that stuff. Like, I started this channel back in 2020, kind of as honestly, it was kind of a goof. It was like I was stuck inside. I have a pretty serious health condition that's not good, and I needed something to get my mind into to kind of focus away from the grimness of some of it. And I met Rick, and I met a bunch of other dudes in what we call the metal vinyl community or whatever. I don't really collect vinyl. It's mostly thousands and thousands of CDs, but I kind of gravitated to these guys. And what's interesting is somewhere about last year, I started to decide that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to get some artists on, because I'm a musician too, but I'm one of those guys that is a closet, bedroom musician dude. I played, but I've never played a lot. I did some cover band stuff, and then it was kind of like, I always had trouble with that guy's a dick, and he doesn't want to be serious about the band, and he doesn't want to practice. And, we're going to get those 5 songs down. I get to practice, and the dude only knows one song, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you've dealt with those guys. But what's interesting now, I think, is that with this channel, with Rick's channel, with a bunch of our channels, we're kind of like the new zines in a weird way, like from the 80s.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
I mean, and it's like, are we professionals? Are we professional writers? No. Are we professional interviewers? Probably not. But I think it behooves a lot of bands to take advantage of something like this, to get your name out there. I'm pushing 1,000 subscribers at this point, and 700 at this point, and it's like it's only going to keep growing with the quality of people that get on.
We do every single one of these we're offered. Never turn them down.
That's great. That's a great idea, man.
Never turn them down. Never.
Because it's free publicity, man. It's a free way to get your stuff heard. Speaking of which, let's do another track, and then we'll tie things up fairly quickly.
Sounds good.
Sound good? So I'm going to do Withering Decay off of the
Doom
split.
Sessions.
Doom Sessions, yep.
Nice, cool. This is a really cool track. I like the little the delay stuff you got going on at the beginning. Yeah, that's cool. All right, here we go. Ready?
Imperishable, fast into anguish at blistering pace. In tiny moments, euphoria finds a way. Timidly enough to persuade a light behind the door, crept out to the gate. In time, that's all that remains. Just a memory of three saints.
Really cool solo, Shane. Very melodic, very fitting.
Brad.
I don't play it like that anymore. I changed it because I started playing.
Yeah, we'll hit it in a second. That right there's got a real Soundgarden vibe. Gun. cool way to bookend that track with the little delay sequences, the loops.
It's like takes you back to this fantasy realm, you know. It just has that vibe.
Yeah, and I noticed, I think on that track there, that Zach seems to have a little more confidence in his voice there on that one. It just seems like his vocals are a little more, when he's going at a higher range, it seems like he's a little more confident in going there. So, and I think you had mentioned, Shane, you encourage him to do that, right?
Yeah, just encourage him to be listen, it's important to know what you are and just be that. He's a screamer. He's like Chris Cornell's style. I always say, I'm always like, because, I mean, I listen to Soundgarden from like Ultra Mega OK and like Loud Love or whatever the fuck that Louder is it called?
Louder Than Love. Louder Than Love.
What's it? Louder Than
Love, yeah.
Yeah, and then the song's called Loud Love, right?
Love, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was getting confused. But anyway.
I saw them on that tour, dude, opening for fucking Voivod.
Yeah, Voivod, yeah, of course.
And Faith No More opened for Soundgarden. So it was Faith No More, Voivod. I saw him at the Chameleon here in town. And before the show, I met Snake. He pulled me up on stage, and I got to sing Astronomy Domine, the second verse of Astronomy Domine.
Oh, man.
Drunk off my ass. Fucking drunk out of my mind.
When that Voivod record came out, I think I was in high school. And that cover, unless it was right after high school. Yeah, it was like, man, that was
killer.
That was the hottest shit on.
And I didn't even know that was a Floyd song. And I knew Floyd, but I didn't know the early Floyd. I knew the, the Dark Side of the Moon era Floyd. And so, yeah, it was, and then Chris actually climbed up onto the PA equipment. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. Shane, you said you're kind of familiar with where I live. There's one of the biggest hot spots of sound is right near me. Lidditz, Claire Brothers. Mm-hmm. And Tate Towers. That's literally 20 minutes from my house. And, they do all this and have done all the sound for like the Monster Giant tours, right? Mm-hmm. And the guy that owned the Chameleon Club bought a brand new this is 1989, I think it was, 89 or 90. And he had just bought a $10,000 fucking full-blown killer Claire Brothers sound system, and Chris is climbing around, swinging off the fucking thing that's hanging from the ceiling with these $10,000 speakers on it. And I'm standing back there, and I knew the owner of him, and he's like, I'm going to fucking kill these guys. I'm going to kill these guys. So I actually got to meet Chris after the show. It was the one time I ever got
There's something about the confidence in the voice thing. Like Chris wasn't even an original singer, right? He was he was a drummer. I think he started out.
Yeah.
Which is like, but then you got guys, like one of my favorite vocals is Dio, right? And that guy was like 5 foot, but his stage presence was like otherworldly.
It's fucking unreal. But like, I tell Zach, like, because when I talk about Chris Cornell, I talk about like the early stuff. I prefer like when he's like, it's like to the point where it's like almost annoying, But I like that because when you're doing that, it's memorable, Like there are people who are gonna I know that's that way with Zach. You're screamy, kind of got like a screechy voice. Like some people are gonna be like, but I think it's good because it gives you an identity instead of something that's forgettable. So, and like Chris Cornell, because when they came out, plenty of my friends were like, man, I am not with that vocal style, like, I'm like, that's cool, but I liked it, It's like listening to Jane's Addiction. Yeah. Perry's just screaming the whole time.
Or Perry.
The most like, nasally fucking voice you've ever heard, but it's fucking awesome.
Who's that, Perry Farrell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the weirdest vocalist ever, but he's got that affected thing, and he's got it's almost like a falsetto sort of thing that he does at times.
Crazy, but
I never got to see Jane's live. That was one band I kind of missed. But I remember when Nothing Shocking came out. I'm like,
I was like, man, what the fuck is
so
this?
Killer, man, so killer, right?
I was like, I was like, this is like Led Zeppelin meets The Cure or something. I was
The Cure, yeah.
It was really crazy. It was really super.
So you guys are working on the album, third album, and they'll be coming out again on the same label?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what then you think they'll be trying to put you out on the road then after that?
Yeah, right now we are only concentrating on the record. We're going to be playing RPM Fest in It's it's up in New England. I don't know, in like Labor Day weekend.
Massachusetts. Yeah.
Massachusetts. We're going to be playing Heavy Psych Sounds Fest, Baltimore and New York, and that's in November. And I think that's we have one gig in Philly with our label mates, Duel, at Johnny Brenda's, and that's going to be
Duel. Yeah.
Johnny Brenda's. Okay.
That's going to be it first for gigs for the right now. And I told this to our label boss. I said, hey, we're not committing to anything other than making the record right now.
Getting the record done.
We don't want to have any kind of deadlines or like, because he's like, when will the record be done? I was like, I don't fucking know, but we're not working on a deadline.
Yeah.
We're going to make the record on our time because that's what we need to do, and that's what we're going to do, and then we'll worry about the rest of the stuff after that.
Who were the two festivals that you said? One in Massachusetts and one in where? Baltimore?
Our RPM Fest, and then our label is putting on a festival in Baltimore and a festival in New York, and we're playing both of those.
Okay. Any other bands on those bills yet, or?
Well, RPM Fest, I know Freedom Hawk, Weed Eater. I don't know. I can't remember who else, but there's a bunch of bands. The HPS Fest, I know Bongzilla's playing them, but I can't remember who else right now.
Okay.
I have to look. I don't remember.
Yeah.
If you would do me a favor then, Shane, later today or whatever, send me links to those festivals and I'll put them in the description down here.
Yeah.
For you, and that way I can link it in case people are in the area that want to travel up there and see that. Rick, you got any tie-ins, last minute stuff you want to throw in? Rick,
I found out playing. I just looked on our thing.
Okay, cool.
Atomic Bitchwax, Golden Teaser, Black Lung, Witch Pit, Cosmic Reaper, Gozu, Luger. They're from Canada. Those guys are insane, man. Those Canadians up there. Those guys, like Voivod. Voivod. They're fucking.
They asked where Voivod's from.
Sure.
Yeah, fucking nuts, man. I like
Rick,
it.
you got any final stuff you want to tie up?
You guys are. I know you're focused on the record right now, but afterward, you guys are open to doing more splits and stuff like that. Just other collaborations. I know you did the Doom sessions, but
I mean, we'll do any right now. Yeah, I mean, we're not against doing anything in the future. Right now, we just want to make this record. It's like we got sidetracked by doing tours and gigs after COVID happened, because we weren't really getting together a lot, and then we were getting together to rehearse. We start writing something, and then like, oh, there's going to be a gig, and then we have to get together for 3 rehearsals because we haven't played a gig in so long, and it just like snowballed into not having played for God knows, or not having fucking made a record. And then we're like, what the fuck is going on here? Everything's like it's fucked up. So
hearing the stuff on the Doom sessions, I'm pretty excited to hear what you guys have going on as far as the new stuff, because I love what I heard and just how you guys are developing.
There's also Cold World is the last single we put out a few months ago, and that's
we just put it out as a release on Spotify.
Is that a newer track? That's a newer track?
From the same time as Doom Sessions.
Okay.
You want me to play that one as an outro then?
Sure, play.
Yeah.
Cold World?
Cold World.
Cold World.
Cold
Yeah.
World.
All right, let me pull that up real quick. I did have one real quick question for you guys then. Rick, do you want to keep talking to them for a minute while I look this up?
I do have one band I would love to see in the Doom sessions. You guys familiar? And they're based out of Rome. Doom Razor.
I don't know them. No.
Definitely check them out. So this is their debut, Lords of Mercy, and it's awesome as shit. It's it's very doomy, but it's got a bit of that stoner element along with it. They would fit perfectly a Heavy Psych. I don't know who they're on with right now, but
who put that record out?
This says Iron Tyrant, which I don't know if it's their own thing.
Their own thing, yeah. I don't know that.
Could be, but they would fit like a glove under the Doom sessions.
So I have a question for you guys. You guys go out on these tours, and I'm assuming that for a band of your size and the clubs you're playing and the things you're on, you're probably vanning it, right? You got the small van and you're loading. You're doing a lot of your own loading in and out, I assume. Do you do your own roadie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the driver.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And you're doing your own merch, too? Because I think that's what you did down at the show in Philly.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys – and you don't have to answer us to, like direct, I mean, with numbers or anything, but are you guys walking away with some nice cash when you do these tours?
No, we walk away with a little bit. nothing to live on.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But we more than break even. So, but
you're doing better than breaking even.
Yeah,
you're covering the cost of the expense of the van and the fuel and because that's fucking expensive right now. I would imagine. You haven't really.
For the U.S., we have our own bus that we can sleep in.
Oh, you do?
But it's a paratransit bus.
What is it?
Yeah.
Like a paratransit bus, like a handicap van.
Oh,
but
nice.
It's a cutaway van, so it's big. It's like 15.
Oh, that's nice.
Cargo place in the back, and we have bunks.
Yeah, and in Europe, all the venues and promoters take care of our lodging and dinner and everything.
Yeah, in Europe, you get totally.
So we don't have to worry about that.
They treat you really well, right? Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
And any extra money we have, we want to spend on insane food and beer over there. So I mean, it's just.
Now here's the last question.
You guys can't wait to go back to Europe.
When you guys go out on these trips, in particular in Europe, do you guys go crazy at the record shops? Do you just no?
Not me.
I've tried, and I gotta bring a handful of records home and guitars and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm a train wreck after doing that because we would do 30 shows or so when we'd have one day off.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that ties another one in there.
Yeah.
Are you guys? I think a lot of people think that, and you guys aren't young guys. Obviously, Shane, you're not, and I don't know about the other guys are in their 30s and whatnot. Do you guys have to really temper the partying when you're on the road, when you're doing those night after night after night shows?
Well, I mean, I do a lot of the drive, or I do the driving. So
yeah, you got to stay
party that much unless we're in Europe when we're staying at the venues or staying close or something. In the States, I can't fucking party really at all.
Yeah. But I mean, even when you're over there, do you let loose a lot, or because I don't know about you guys, but the hangovers now, man, I can do about 3 beers and I'm done.
Nah, if we're staying at the venue, I mean, a lot of times you can't avoid it because you'll be seeing some your friends, and then it's you just have to fucking suck it up and be like, all right, I'm gonna be fucking.
It's a social matter. What are you gonna do, right?
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't. It's like. Another guy I work with at the label, he's not in Rome. He's in Eastern Italy and Trieste, right next to Slovenia. And I mean, so he's like Italian, but he's Slovenian. So last time we played there, he and I drank a whole bottle of this Slovenian liqueur, and I had to, or liquor. It's a liquor. Anyway, I had to get up and drive like all the way across to like the far side of like Austria, and that very next day, and I was like
hurting hard, right?
But I knew, I mean, we were 3 shots in, and I was like, all right, fuck it, man. I guess I'm
in trouble.
I'm just, but we're sleeping at the venue. So
have you ever had that? Have you ever had either of you guys? Have you ever had an experience where you just overdid it and you're up on stage and you're just fucking dying, waiting, you're sweating, and you're like, fuck, I gotta get.
Not me, I don't know, maybe Pat, but not really.
No, I think we all have so much fun partying with each other that by the time we end up, if we feel like shit during the day, by the time we get on stage, we're having a ball.
How's the feel of the crowd in Europe versus, like, say, playing for an audience here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It depends on the country.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like by the time you play, if you have one drink and everything's and all of a sudden you feel better.
Well, how did you guys find the Philly crowd? Were you that's kind of a hometown crowd, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. They're always
good for you.
Yeah.
And now when we play there are so many people that we don't know.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
in a good way, like it's not. And we sold last time we played Johnny Brenda's, we sold it out. So like,
was that the place we were at, Rick? The Johnny Brenda's?
Yeah. We were there. We were drinking, and we were trying to get back, and
that's why we were trying to get back to meet up with Max from Death to All. Yeah. We I went down to Death to All, and I know Max and pretty well. Max Phelps from Exist and Death to All, and we were supposed to meet up with him after the show, and Rick came by. It was the first time I met Rick in the flesh. I've known Rick for the better part of 2 years, but the first time I got down to Philly post-pandemic, and we went to a show, and I'm like, hey, let's go out and get a beer after the show. I said, I got an hour and a half or so. We're good. and we take off and we get over to, was that the place we went to?
Johnny Brenda's, yeah.
We get over to Johnny Brenda's, and Max had been saying, yeah, man, you got like an hour and a half. We're good. We have a 2:30 bus call or something. Suddenly we get over and we literally sit down. We just start drinking a beer, and this is like 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later. He's like, dude, where are you, man? We're leaving. I'm like, what? I'm like, he goes, yeah, because they're calling for bad weather in New York. We got to get out of here. They're going to New York City.
Yeah, we were like racing back, and then there's this kind of what do you call it? There's traffic jam because of a bus got stuck.
Oh, that's right. The bus got stuck.
And then we're hitting all kinds of potholes on the way. It was
crazy. So, well, look, guys, man, I want to thank you guys for taking a little piece of your Sunday afternoon and joining us. And
thank you, man.
I'm gonna play Cold World, and then we'll tie it up.
This is your official YouTube channel, right? That the High Reaper topic, the one you're playing off the tracks off of.
I don't think so. I think anything that we have that's up there.
Well, this is Heavy Psych right here, the one I'm looking at now.
Oh, okay.
The other one was High Reaper, and I'll put that in the. Do you want me to put Heavy?
Generated.
Do you want me to put? You guys want me to put Heavy Psych in the? Yeah. I'll update the description and put Heavy Psych down there in your YouTube then. But we're gonna play the most recent single. When this come out, guys?
We just released it digitally, like I don't know,
3 months ago
or May or some shit.
Looks like March 3rd.
Okay, well then that's from us.
All right, we'll play this quick, and then we'll let you guys get out of here. Then sound good?
Oh yeah.
All right, give me 1 sec here. And this is Cold World. Is this song going to be on the 3rd album, or not sure?
Yeah, it's just there for the peoples.
Let's see. Okay.
Just a digital thing, because we had the stuff sitting around.
Winter's air, firefly, got tempest in the land. Road cutting through the world, sticking to the touch. All throughout the world, beneath the pits of memory. Though it burns alive and wild, killing me with ease. Everybody in its own spins the cold world, never dimming, everlasting. Spins the cold world. In the middle of the night, upon the funeral ground, the sky began to open up, the heavens raced to ground. As the rain fell down, your face began to fade, wishing everything to God to see it be remade. When will it ever end? Tethered in between a place that can't exist. What will it ever end? Tethered in between a place that can exist and a place that I resist. Terrifying in its own, spins the cold world, never dimming, everlasting. Spins the cold world. Spins the cold world.
All right. Good stuff, dudes. Good stuff. Wanted to ask you one last thing there. Are you playing in I was trying to work it out, but are you in D
standard?
You're in D standard. That's what I thought.
D standard.
E or D?
C.
Like cat.
Oh, C. You're in C.
Oh,
C.
C.
Okay. I was gonna say it sounded like it was D with a drop. Are you drop? So, but it's standard the whole way throughout.
Standard.
Yep.
Cool,
Yep.
cool, man. Nice. Anything last parting shots you guys want to throw out there?
Thanks for having us. I mean, it was, I don't know. We're just,
thanks, man.
we'll be back soon. We're just we're just going to be working on the fucking record, and we'll be back.
Cool, man. Well,
Awesome.
we'll hopefully we've shoved some people your way. We had I think we had 10 people at one point, which is on a Sunday afternoon is pretty good because now that everything's open, it's hard to get people. You don't have as captive an audience as you once had, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thanks, dudes. I appreciate it. Hang on
Thanks for
one
coming
sec.
on.
I'm gonna end it right here and then just hang on one sec, okay?
Okay.
All right.